Good afternoon, Year 2. Welcome to your RE lesson. Today we are finding out all about preparations for Easter. So last week you should have learned about the Easter story. But today we're going to talk about the build up to Easter and how Christians prepare for it. Okay, so first off, we have those questions we all love, looking at our previous learning. Okay, so from last week, who betrays Jesus in the Easter story? Who betrays him? Who tells the Romans where he is? Okay, from last term, what did God do on the final day of creating the world, according to Christianity? On that final day, it took him 7 days. What did he do on that 7th day? Okay, moving down. Last term, which Hindu god is known as the destroyer? And then from last year, what is praying? What does praying mean? Okay, there's nothing on Teams for those questions, so that's just to do with a pencil. Right. How do Christians prepare for Easter? This is what we're finding out. So what do you remember about the Easter story? See if you can write down a few key parts of that Easter story. Off you go. Okay, so hopefully you would have remembered that we have Easter to celebrate Jesus sacrificing himself according to Christianity, and that he was resurrected 3 days later. Okay, so our key words for today are ash, shrove, palm, and Lent. We're going to find out what these words mean. So Easter is the most important Christian festival. At Easter time, Christians remember the last week of Jesus' life. Christians start preparing for Easter the month before Easter Day. So for a whole month, there's a whole preparation. It is a special time for Christians to remember Jesus' life and his death. So this month leading up to it is called Lent. Lent is the name given to the duration of time before Easter. It starts on Ash Wednesday, Ash, one of our keywords, and finishes on Easter Eve. For Christians, Lent is a time to prepare for Easter and think about God. It is also a time to remember Jesus' life. Now, Lent for us starts this year on the 17th of February. So you got about 3 weeks before Lent starts, okay, on Ash Wednesday. So Lent lasts for 40 days, which represents the 40 days when Jesus was alone in the desert, which you've learnt about. During this time, Jesus didn't eat or drink anything as he was focused on his teachings. Because of this, some Christians give up some food for Lent. Usually it's a food that is a treat, such as chocolate or cake. I know in the past for Lent, I've given up crisps, sweets, chocolate, stuff like that. So what do you think you might give up for Lent? Write down, what will you give up for Lent this year? If you do Lent, what could you give up? All right, so Shrove Tuesday. So we talked about Ash Wednesday, which is the start of Lent. Shrove Tuesday is the day before it, okay? So this is the day before Lent begins, and it is also known as Pancake Day. Oh, what a day, okay? I'm sure a lot of us have had pancakes on Pancakes Day because, don't we just love a pancake, okay? It's a day to say sorry for all the wrong things you may have done. It's a day to eat a lot of pancakes. Fill yourself up before you then give something up for Lent, okay? Pancake Day comes from an old English tradition of using up all the fattening ingredients in your house before Lent begins. In the past, the most fattening ingredients in people's houses were milk and eggs, because at that point they didn't have Haribo or dairy milk. So this is for them what was fattening. And they were combined together with some flour, and that created that pancake recipe. So it's a very old tradition. Okay, Ash Wednesday, remember we talked about, it's the day after, it's the first day of Lent. And it's called this because of a tradition where you place a small cross of ash on people's foreheads during the church service. So you go to church on Ash Wednesday, and put a small cross of ash on their forehead, right? That's why Christians call it Ash Wednesday, okay? The ash itself normally comes from a palm branch that was burnt after the Palm Sunday service, okay? So palm, like a palm leaf, quite important to Christians. Ash is used to help Christians remember that Lent is about remembering that Jesus died, okay? Right, so today you'll be thinking about how to give something back rather than give something up. Can you think of the different ways you could help others? So that's what we'll think about. How can we help others? By giving something back, right? And this is your task for today. What could you give back into the world? So come up with sort of 4 ideas of what you could do and then how you could do it. So there are some ideas over here. So pick up litter that you see and put it in the bin. How could you do it? Go for a walk, see litter, pick it up, find the nearest bin, put it in. Complete a job without being asked. How could you do it? Look around the house. I see that there's some dirty dishes on the side. I'm going to clean them without mum or dad having to ask me to, right? Lots of different ways to do this. Have some fun with it. Show that kindness that I know you can all do. And that's your reading lesson for today. See you all tomorrow, where hopefully teams will be a lot smoother. Thanks, everyone.